Here are questions and answers on the novel, Redemption Road by Elmer Shaw. 1. Who is the protagonist of Redemption Road? Answer. The protagonist is Bendu Marie Lewis, a Liberian woman who survived Juluma camp and later founded the NGO Peace in Practice, PIP. Her journey centers on overcoming trauma, guilt, and finding justice and inner peace. 2. What is the significance of Granny May in Bendu's life? Answer. Granny May, Catherine May and Tyler, is Bendu's grandmother and moral guide. Bendu stayed with her during the war. Her death in Charlu town leaves Bendu with guilt and shapes her longing for redemption. 3. What is Peace in Practice, PIP? Answer. Peace in Practice is an NGO founded by Bendu and Agnes to support war survivors. It provides trauma counseling, HIV awareness, and psychosocial rehabilitation, symbolizing Bendu's attempt to heal herself through serving others. 4. Who is Moses Vani, also known as Commander Cobra? Answer. Moses Vani, called Commander Cobra, is a former rebel leader who terrorized civilians during the war. He embodies corruption and brutality, later using his connections to evade justice, bringing conflict into Bendu's post-war life. 5. What painful secret does Bendu carry from the war? Answer. Bendu secretly had a daughter, baby girl, born in Juluma camp under traumatic conditions. She abandoned her as an infant, a decision that haunted her throughout her life, until they were eventually reunited years later. 6. How does Agnes influence Bendu's healing and activism? Answer. Agnes, Bendu's close friend and colleague at PIP, supports her emotionally and professionally. She encourages Bendu to speak about her trauma, balancing compassion with practicality in their shared mission to rehabilitate war survivors. 7. What role does Calvin play in Bendu's life? Answer. Calvin is a supportive figure who helps Bendu recover after Vani's assault. He becomes a confidant and baby girl's godfather, representing stability, empathy, and a bridge between Bendu's painful past and her renewed hope. 8. Who is Siata, and how does her experience contrast with Bendu's? Answer. Siata is Bendu's older sister, who spent much of the war in the United States. Unlike Bendu, she didn't endure direct conflict trauma, creating emotional distance between them despite her genuine love and concern. 9. What role does Terrence Clark play in the story? Answer. Terrence Clark, Siata's husband, works in government and becomes entangled in corruption by helping Commander Cobra avoid justice. His betrayal highlights post-war political decay and deepens Siata's and Bendu's moral struggles. 10. What event forces Bendu to confront her buried past? Answer. When Moses Vani resurfaces and threatens to expose her past, Bendu must reveal her secret daughter and her war experiences. The confrontation becomes a turning point in her emotional and moral transformation. 11. How does Bendu escape Vani's violent threat? Answer. Vani kidnaps and assaults her, attempting to silence her. Bendu manages to escape, takes refuge with Calvin, and later publicly reveals her story, turning her trauma into strength and advocacy for other survivors. 12. How do Bendu's parents affect her journey toward healing? Answer. Her parents, Ben and Eva Lewis, who lived in the US during the war, returned to Liberia for Granny May's memorial. Their presence and concern rekindle family unity and help Bendu face her hidden wounds. 13. What does revealing her daughter's existence accomplish for Bendu? Answer. Disclosing her daughter's story frees Bendu from years of shame and secrecy. It allows her to reclaim her past, reconnect with her family, and seek emotional reconciliation through openness and truth-telling. 14. Who is Judge Dargoser, and what does he represent? Answer. Judge Dargoser is a corrupt judge who takes bribes from Vani to obstruct justice. He symbolizes the moral decay and institutional failure that allow war criminals to escape accountability in post-war Liberia. 15. What is the significance of Granny May's memorial at the novel's beginning? Answer. The memorial introduces themes of memory, guilt, and closure. Bendu's reflections on Granny May's death mirror Liberia's collective struggle to confront the past and find peace after years of civil conflict. 16. How does Bendu demonstrate resilience throughout the novel? Answer: despite enduring captivity, loss, and violence, Bendu rebuilds her life, leads peace in practice, and continues seeking justice. Her perseverance embodies the resilience of Liberian women scarred yet unbroken by war. 17. How did the Civil War affect Bendu psychologically? Answer: the war left her haunted by nightmares and guilt. She represses memories of Juluma camp, struggles with trauma and self-worth, and fears societal judgment over her forced role as a wife to rebels. 18. Did Bendu ever travel abroad during or after the war? Answer: no. Unlike her parents and sister, Bendu stayed in Liberia throughout the war. Her endurance on home soil highlights the strength and suffering of those who lived through the country's darkest days. 19. Who is Baby Girl, and what does she symbolize? Answer: Baby Girl is Bendu's daughter born in captivity and abandoned for safety. She symbolizes lost innocence, guilt, and ultimate redemption when mother and child reunite through the International Red Cross's tracing program. 20. How is justice portrayed in Redemption Road? Answer: justice is both moral and legal. Bendu pursues formal charges against Vani, but realizes true justice also means confronting trauma, seeking truth, and finding peace within herself and her community. 21. What ultimately happens to Moses Vani, Commander Cobra? Answer: Vani's body is discovered in the St. John River with a gunshot wound to the head. His violent death signifies poetic justice and the inevitable downfall of men who thrive on cruelty and deceit. 22. Who is Tenne, and how does her story parallel Bendu's? Answer: Tenne, one of Pip's counseling clients, is a war survivor living with HIV. Her courage in sharing her pain reflects Bendu's journey, emphasizing healing through truth, acceptance, and mutual support among survivors. 23. How does Elma Shaw portray toxic masculinity through Vani? Answer: through Vani's dominance, cruelty, and sexual violence, Shaw exposes how war distorts manhood into aggression and control, contrasting it with Calvin's empathy and emotional maturity as models of redefined masculinity. 24. How does the novel treat the theme of forgiveness? Answer: forgiveness in Redemption Road is complex. Bendu wrestles with forgiving Vani yet recognizes forgiveness must come with truth and justice. Her healing depends on reconciling vengeance with humanity. 25. What is the novel's final message about Bendu's redemption? Answer: by the novel's end, Bendu reunites with her daughter and confronts her past publicly. Her journey shows that redemption requires honesty, courage, and acceptance, not escape from the scars of history.